Alright, today we're going to start working on the chassis of the next gen car. As you can see, I taped down the bottom piece to make it flat. It helps out a lot. I also did kind of bend it with my hands before I taped it down, but that's going to make sure that everything goes together well. So what I'm doing here is making the holes bigger on the bottom frame piece, because as you see, whenever I test fit it, it doesn't quite fit down in there like it should. Like, even after I drilled it there, it still needs a little bit more. So what I'm doing here is just drilling the holes out a little bit deeper so it sits down flush like it's supposed to, and that's just going to help everything sit a lot better and go together well. So now that that's fitting well, before I glue it, I'm going to test fit the front firewall. And it also has an issue. Those little tabs there, it needs to be cut so it'll fit. You don't have to take much off, and you'll see I don't take much off of there. But in order to get it to fit between where it's supposed to on that frame rail, you got to cut a little bit off. I don't know how much, but not more than 1/8 of an inch, I don't think. But then it'll sit down flush like it's supposed to, just like that. All right, we're going to start by putting that frame piece in on the underbody flat piece, and then we're going to start building the housing for the rear transaxle. Basically, all I'm doing here is test fitting everything, make sure it's good, make sure I got it the right way, and just making sure it fits like it's supposed to. So I'm going to glue that together, and then once that assembly is finished, I will set it in. There's a hole and there's two raised pieces. That's where that fits in there, and it fits in really, really nice and snug. So you can kind of base off that the rest of the bottom part of the roll cage. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, it's all glued together. I'm going to stick the peg in the hole and line it up in between those two raised parts. And then we'll kind of have a starting point. All right, it's nice and stuck. Now that's not glued in. Don't glue any of that stuff in yet. Basically, we're just building an assembly first. So the frame piece is not glued to the bottom flat piece there. It's not glued to it. I'm gluing the back roll cage part to the silver frame rail. All right, here I'm getting ready to glue the spider web looking, or spider legs really looking piece to the back part of the roll cage assembly there. And you'll kind of have to fight with the bottom ones because they don't like to go in. You kind of have to slide them underneath of the silver frame rail there. All right, now that that's glued, let's stick the frame rail back in and see how it lines up there. It's a snug fit, but it's pretty well right on the money. I will say on mine when I did it, the bottom was not quite all the way seated in like it's supposed to, but I went ahead and glued it anyway. So I'm going to put a dab of glue on the top area there. Actually, what I'm going to do first is, so I have a guide to show me what to tape off to paint the bottom white. I just use a pencil and go around and trace the inside edge of that. That way I'm ready to go. All right, let me show you with this firewall here. I know it's kind of hard to see. Every single one of the kits I've ever had, that driver's side piece where the front frame goes is always cracked and almost ready to come apart. I was just showing that to you. Every single one I've ever done has been that way. So just keep on the lookout for that. All right, next I'm going to put the side of the roll cages on. I'm kind of going to start by gluing the front, and then I'll come back and glue the rear later. All right, here I'm getting ready to do the front part of the roll cage assembly up by where the engine is. And this will just kind of help hold everything together. You got to make sure it clicks down in the little hole. There's a part on that piece of roll cage that goes down through the flat underbody part. All right, last thing I'm going to do is put the front bottom part of the roll cage assembly in, and then I'll be done with this video. Next time we'll tackle a few other things. We'll probably do the transaxle and some interior stuff before we put the rest of the roll cage on. So thank y'all for watching. Like and subscribe if you would, please. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope this helps, and there's more videos to come on this next gen car. Have a great day. Thank you.